Hi, everybody. I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
And I'm Eli.
And we are the YHWH and the Torah channel. And we thank you guys very, very much for joining us. It is a preparation day. What does that mean, Eli?
It is the preparation day for the Shabbat.
Right. Okay. And so it's a preparation day for the Shabbat. I'm trying to get everyone into the microphone so that everybody can hear you. So what does that mean, a preparation day for the Shabbat, Kate?
That means tomorrow you do no cooking, you do no working. So you do all of that today. You cook everything that you're going to eat tomorrow so that you are not kindling fire, that you are not working, that you are focusing on YHWH tomorrow. You do everything that you need to do today. If you need to mow your yard, do it today so you're not sitting there worrying about it tomorrow.
Great. Yes, I'm getting the echo into the microphone, so the microphone sounds really good. All right, Jade, tell us a little more about the Shabbat.
The Shabbat day is the day of rest. It's the day you're supposed to just celebrate with YHWH. He made it for us to rest. We need one day a week to rest, so that's the day He gave us. We're commanded not to make fire. We are commanded not to do any work, not to buy or sell. No employee, no servant or maidservant, no donkey or animal work for us. We do no work.
But you feed animals.
We can feed animals, right? Because we can eat. But we should have all that prepared the day before.
Okay, so how does this day look for us? What do we do today, Eli?
We wake up, usually feed our cows and our chickens. We just watch.
How do we prepare for tomorrow?
We have our crock pot meals. We cut a bunch of grass for our cows.
Yeah, we cut all the grass on preparation day.
Yeah, we get big piles of grass because they eat big piles of grass. We get big green piles of grass for them the day before, a few loads of that, and so that we don't have to cut it. So all we do is just give it to them over the fence.
Right. Okay, so thank you guys. I appreciate your input on this, and I would like to, I need to reiterate yesterday's story that I talked about with the lightning strikes that we had here. And I would like to explain to folks that in the country that we live in and where we live presently, we have two seasons. We have dry and we have wet. And I explained that yesterday. But one thing I didn't explain is that pretty much half the year, we have lightning strikes all over the place. Like, you won't look out without seeing lightning flashing somewhere or thunder going somewhere. It is half the year is completely rainy. And so having lightning and thunder is absolutely nothing new. We get it all the time. We get loud thunder all the time. We get all sorts of stuff. And you can look out, and sometimes you can look in right as soon as the night is here, or sometimes early in the morning, like 3 or 4 in the morning, and you can just see flashes of light. It looks like things are just lighting up all over the place. We are in a very electrical part of the world, and this is how things are. What was different is that yesterday, or the day before yesterday, when this lightning came, we don't normally have the lightning right over our heads. And it wasn't just over our heads of this nature. It was all around us. And I have never seen an electrical storm such as this. From where I was sitting, I was trying to remember this because it was so wild. When it first started, I was like, wow, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty intense. But I didn't start counting it, but I recall that at least I saw 7 or 8 lightning strikes right directly around our house. It was from one side of the house. It was literally right on top of us. And so it was pounding down to the effect you could not hear anything. It was so loud, and it was a dangerous, very dangerous thing. And when we said the prayer, Caden and I were praying, and immediately after the prayer, it, without a shadow of a doubt, it stopped. It literally stopped. Like the rain, it just started like a little trinkle, and it went from hardcore out of like almost a supernatural event to where it stopped. And it was the power of prayer that we saw some amazing stuff go. And so, I know it was a miracle. I know it was an answer to Yah's prayer. I just wanted folks to understand that we know what lightning is, and we live with it. We live with lightning and thunder. It's around us for 6 months of the year. So it's nothing new, except 2 nights ago, that was completely new, where it sits right over the top of us, and it's lightning coming down. I mean, it's almost like the devil was trying to take us out. And I don't know what would have happened had we not prayed our prayer. I mean, it was it was super close to our house. It was just all around us. So it is a supernatural event, and I will always give all glory to Yah, because he saves, and obviously I don't know how the prayer went down. I don't know if our messengers went and sent it up to Yah, and our messengers, I believe we have messengers all around us. I don't know if that is the prayers of the Kadeshian ones that immediately went up there, and it was almost instantaneous, right? As soon as we stopped the prayer. Okay, do you have anything to follow up on that?
No, you pretty much explained everything correctly. You explained everything as it was.
Okay, yeah. So that is yet more prayer. So now, before we get into this, we have another story that we would like to explain because it actually deals with the scriptures we are reading today, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if we should do it after that we read the story, or
yeah, we should probably read it.
It's probably after.
So there's more context to it.
Okay, so there's more context. So let's begin. Let's get into our handy dandy split screen. Before that, anybody want to attempt to represent with the first 10 commandments? You're representing for Boss Clan. If you don't do it, I guess you get a big old boo-boo prize for the day.
I'm gonna run it again.
Okay, this is simple enough, right? I mean, if you read Genesis, the first things are this. We're going down the list. So what do we got?
Be fruitful.
Okay.
Multiply.
Okay.
Replenish the earth.
Got it.
I can't remember if it's subdue it or have dominion first.
Well, it's kind of the same. It's the same thing.
I think it's.
It's four. Okay. Eli, don't cheat. No cheating here. No cheating, Cookie. Get out of here.
More like working together.
We're not working together.
It's subdue. I think it's subdue it.
It's subdue it, and that leads to have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living thing.
Dominion.
What else? Okay, so I'll give you that one. Commandment 4. Commandment 5. It's almost the same thing.
Man and woman should clean
No.
it. No, I don't know. It's have dominion over, right?
Yeah, have dominion. So Commandment 4 is subdue it. Have dominion over the fish, fowl, and this is all within Commandment 4, right? Commandment 5 is have dominion over all living creatures. So I don't know. These almost seem like they're the same thing.
Oh, one says fish and like fowls, and one says like other things.
Yeah, and Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. So I don't know. That might actually be like all one commandment. Now that I'm actually looking at this. Maybe we should go back through this. Maybe we're only at 51 commandments. So subdue it. Yeah, subdue it. I think this would be it.
Subdue it and have dominion over it.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same. We're in the same verse. It's Genesis 1:28. All right, so I think we need to clean this up. I think we need to clean up the commandments. All right. Anyway, we got the boo-boo.
Still a work in progress.
Yeah, it is a work in progress. All right, we got the boo-boo prize for the day, and we will do the handy dandy split screen, and we are in Leviticus 10. Okay, now, we actually have a pretty funny story, so if you guys want to continue on, and big greeting out there to everybody in our family. We'd like to thank you guys for spending time, taking your time out of the day to listen into our ramblings and to the Word of Yah, which is the most important thing that we could ever find, that we could ever have, that we could ever embrace. And I was talking to somebody the other day, somebody was like, we get tons and tons of people that are like, the law's on the cross. And give me some adjectives to describe Yah's laws.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Holy.
Holy. Okay.
Good.
Let's go around the table.
Righteous.
Righteous. Eli.
Good, yeah.
I'm saying wonderful in mine. Cade.
Truth.
Truth. Yeah, absolutely. Eli's that's not it. That's not a word I'm looking for. I just did it again. So, anyone else have anything? It is something that is a wonderful
Light. It's a guide.
It's a guide, right? It is a
Lifestyle.
guide. Blessings, Nicole says. Yeah, there's every adjective of everything wonderful would be used for this, and people have forsaken this. And instead of them embracing this with joy, they embrace it with, it's bondage. Nobody can keep the laws of God. That's just, nobody can keep that, Jason. No, you can't do sacrifices. I mean, I hear that. I don't know how many thousands of times I've heard that. So anyway, let's get into it. And I believe the Word of God is good for all generations, for all people, for every family, for every walk of tribe, for everybody. It has something, a little something for everybody. And it's how we are supposed to walk to our Creator. It's the path back to our Creator. And it's an amazing thing that our Creator has given us a path back to Him. We're merely created entities, right? Does everyone agree with me here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I need to speak up a little bit more, Eli. We're created entities, right? Okay? Right?
Yes,
So
sir.
why would he leave us the breadcrumbs back to him? I mean, that is what I find extremely amazing, is that he not only went through all this trouble here in Mount Sinai and with the Yashrael back in the day, but he's still with us today. You awake, Cade? All right. Just everybody's falling asleep on me today. It must be a long week. All right. So let's read and begin. But it's a great thing. All right. And Nadav and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer and put fire therein and put incense therein and offered strange fire before Yahuwah, which he commanded them not. And there went out fire from Yahuwah and devoured them, and they died before Yahuwah. Then Moshe said unto Aaron, This is that Yahuwah spoke, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. Okay, what happened here, folks?
So these two sons of Aaron were supposed to be the priests, and they decided they were going to.
Oh, they were the priests.
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to. They were the priests.
They were supposed to be the priests, but they died here. But they brought in. They sacrificed something that they were told not to do. They mixed something on it, like they put incense or something on it that Yahuwah did not like, and basically it got them punished because they disobeyed what Yah had said.
So he smote them. He killed them.
The fire ate them.
The fire ate them. All right. So I think this is a good time that we can break into our little story here about Evil Eric. And let me preface this by saying that, he didn't always be Evil Eric. We didn't always label him this, but after a while, when people do enormous evil after a time, you don't really have a name. And so if you want a name that fits people, it would be Evil Eric. Now, Evil Eric had a little table, and Evil Eric was selling stuff. Evil Eric was selling pork and selling all this kind of stuff. And we were just this was like 8 years ago. We were just getting into the Torah. We had just figured out that, hey, this Torah was for us. And then we discovered all these people, what we discovered with Evil Eric is that Evil Eric would bait us because we were keeping Torah. We went to the same place. We used to hand out Bibles at the same place. We used to hand out Bibles. And so we had a little booth next to Evil Eric. And Evil Eric was the ultimate Christian, right? If you're looking for a ultimate Christian, he's the guy, right? He is grace, 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 grace. All food has been made clean. Peter's dream had to do with everybody eating their own food. And everybody that is from this channel should absolutely know that is not true. That all food has not been made clean. But he ridiculed us, right? And this guy stands about 5'2", and we I don't know if this is like what they call short man syndrome or something, but this guy had a bone to pick with all of us, and he never stopped. And the Evil Eric, he was on my WhatsApp for a long time, and at one point, because we were keeping the laws of God, he had measured up. It was 6.66 grams of pig fat and sent us the 666 with a little with the pig fat on a scale, and he said thinking of you when he did it. And then he sent us pictures of him boiling this pig fat down, and it was going into all of his food. And so this guy, even though the food was not supposed to have pig in it, he was still using all this pig fat in everything he did. And so we used to buy his food back in the day, and then we immediately stopped. And it was this same Evil Eric that, as we're doing the Torah, we realized that Evil Eric was extremely unclean, right? Because of his kitchen and because of his actions, and that he not only was he selling pork and fixing it and doing it, taking all his grease, but this is where Caden freaked out one time, and this was literally 8 years ago. He was
Like 11, 12.
Yeah, 11, 12 years old. So Evil Eric was chasing him around, trying to get him to shake his hand, and Cade was freaking out. And he literally told Eric, "I'm not shaking your hand." What did you tell him?
He's trying to shake my hand. I'm not shaking your hand. I'll be unclean. He goes, "Why you say I'm unclean?" I'm like, "Because you sit there and you touch pork. You boil the pork, man."
Yeah.
And he was offended. He was extremely offended.
Yeah. So this goes into this story now. So he and his son, Evil Eric and his son, I don't know if his son's evil, but definitely Evil Eric is. So they decided they were going to make this salsa, and they called it strange fire. And
They did it in like memory of us, basically to like mess with us because they knew we were in the Torah and they knew we were because we talked about strange fire a few days before to a few people and he was in on the conversation that we were talking to on the booth.
So they went and they made salsa called Strange Fire and they were offering up strange fire and they were laughing about it. They thought it was all funny. Now we come there one day. And both he and his son are all up in bandages. There's bandages all over. His eyebrows are gone. His hair is like all ripped up.
It's like all singed.
His hands are like
skin's like falling off his hands. It's like, and then we're like, he's like, oh, he looks terrible. Like he's like completely like he had like got out of the hospital or something. He looked like awful, like a train wreck.
Yeah, they both did. Both he and his son came up and they had band-aids all over their face, all over their hands. Their hands were falling off. Everything was going crazy. So I guess I don't know what the joke was, but go ahead.
The way he said what happened was that he lit the pilot light because it's one of those ones you have to light by hand. In this country, you have those ones like you have to light by hand. You have to put the lighter in the bottom of the stove and light it by hand.
Blew up the whole kitchen.
And it like complete like the fire came out and took them both, knocked them to the ground.
It didn't kill them, but it singed all their hair off, and they looked like they had just been wrecked. And we were like, "Whoa!" He offered up strange fire to Yah, and he almost died. And we were, you know,
the
we
thing
didn't
was
know.
with the strange fire was they kept trying to get us to eat like, here, take a small taste of strange fire.
Yeah.
Take a small taste. And we're like, we're not eating your strange fire. Like that was the most satanic thing you guys do. And then they decided later they were gonna come up with a thing called the Devil's Hot Sauce, or they had a second one called the Devil's Hot Sauce. Really, really demonic activity from both
Evil Eric. That's why he became Evil Eric.
And yeah, it's like every time we saw him, they're like, "Here, try this." They were like almost offering money to us at one point to try. It's like, "We'll give you $1 if you eat this hot sauce, just a lick of it." And we're like, "No, guys, just leave us alone."
And before we were into Torah, this guy's food was we thought the food was really super good. And we used to buy his brownies and things from him all the time. I mean, he was a good cook, but then we found out he was just a satanic demon. And, it was crazy. He almost died because of the strange fire. You know, this could have definitely consumed him. I mean, his skin was falling off his hands. It burned him so bad. So we didn't know what to say. But anyway, that's the story. Let's get back into this now.
Don't offer strange fire.
Don't offer strange fire to Yah. It's not a joke. None of this is a joke. And it's a very serious business, right? Yah is not going to be mocked like this. And Evil Eric got owned. All right. And Moshe called Mishael and Eliasaphan. What you going to say?
Mishael and
Elsaphan. Yes. The sons of Uziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, "Come near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp." Okay, so there's just a piece of burned up corpse or something right there, right?
Like, hey, I want to take this one outside the camp. You gotta go deal with this.
Yeah, and so they made the uncle.
The uncle of Aaron. Dude, Aaron's like 85 at this point.
Well, the uncle is the kids of Aaron. It says the sons of Uziel. So I don't even. Yeah.
So it's like uncle of Aaron. The uncle of Aaron. So it's like something close to Aaron's age, I think.
It could be the same age. Yeah. It's just a brother, right? So it could even be younger. So I think, right? Is it possible he'd be younger? Aaron's uncle? That would be his dad's brother, right?
His dad's brother.
Right, okay.
It could be.
Okay, all right. So it's not going to be the same age, though. It's his dad's brother, so it's going to be, like, older. Right, much older, so we know. All right. So they went near and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as Moshe had said. And Moshe said unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar, his sons, "Uncover not your heads, neither rend your clothes, lest ye die, and lest wrath come upon all the people. But let your brethren, the whole house of Yashrael, bewail the burning which Yahuwah has kindled." Okay, so this is very interesting, right? So Aaron, as a dad, essentially this is how it'd be. If I was Aaron and you guys were doing your holy sacrifice, all of a sudden I just lost both of my kids, and you guys are dead. They did. And you cannot wail for them, right? That's like part of the punishment. People need to wail, and he said, be sad, bewail the burning which Yahuwah has kindled, right? Beware, it's like, don't cry for the dead. They obviously screwed up badly that, Aaron was unable to even mourn for them. All right, 7. "And ye shall not go out from the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, lest ye die, for the anointing oil of Yahuwah is upon you." And they did according to the word of Moshe. And Yahuwah spoke unto Aaron, saying, "Do not drink wine, nor strong drink, you, nor your sons with you, when ye go into the tabernacle of the assembly, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations.
So this is the first time Yahuwah directly speaks to Aaron without Moses. This is like the first time he speaks to him, and it's like an important thing, like, don't go drinking before you get in here.
Plus, that gives us a clue as to why both his kids were smoted.
They might have been a little...
sauced up, probably. And so they were probably drinking a little bit. So this goes into a lot of this stuff. People smoke, and people drink, and people do all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's like the Mormons, they're like, part of the words of wisdom is you can't drink caffeine, which you shouldn't, which is probably a good idea. And you can't drink booze, any kind of alcohol or stuff like that. Is there a Torah commandment that says we should not be drinking?
It does not. It only says don't be a drunkard.
And what is a drunkard, Eli?
It is someone who is like, who can't stop.
Who can't stop.
They drink tons of it and there's no moderation.
There's no moderation. And so the story in the Torah where the drunkards' kids are killed, these are not, I don't think this were like 8-year-old kids.
I think these are adults. Yeah, when they said, my son's a drunkard, he doesn't listen. I mean, he was old enough to be able to drink. I don't think they were just giving their young kids here's some wine, son.
Right. And so is there anything wrong with drinking?
I don't see anything wrong with it. A drink or two is probably fine.
A drink or two when?
When Paul said when your stomach hurts, he's like, if your stomach hurts, drink some wine.
I
mean, Yehoshua drank it at the party, right? He made wine at the festival.
Didn't say he drank it.
Well, he drank it at the last Passover.
Passover.
Man, he drank some at Passover. This will be the last I drink and eat until I see the reign of my Father.
So we have some of our brothers and sisters out there that have drinking problems. It is drinking. How would you know how would you know this is wrong?
It's ruining your life. It ruins your relationship with Yah. It basically takes you off that narrow path to where you're committing great evil because of the drinking habit you had. Yeah.
So it's understanding it. So what we're saying, I guess not what we're saying. What the Torah is saying is that if you're doing this, I guess if you're doing this with the glory of Yah, I guess would be the thing that you would be doing. You need to be there. If you're out there every single night, you're cracking mass amounts of beer. How is that a problem for your family if you're not? How is this even a problem?
Well, one might take your attention out of the family, or something bad could happen to them. It's
really bad for your health. Extremely terrible for your health if you're drinking consistently.
That is very true. Absolutely true. Yeah. So as far as your temple building, as far as being holy in all that we do and keeping our minds sober, we should not be. Pounding down mass alcohol. But if you, like, what are we saying? Like once a week?
I don't know. That's something up to them. They have to decide what their moderation is. We can't just say, hey, this is what you should drink. We don't have a command of what you can and what you can't drink, how much you can drink. It's something in moderation. If it's taking your mind off Yahuwah, if it's ruining your life and your family's lives, then it's time to probably put down the bottle.
Yeah, there's the alcohol comes with a tremendous amount of demons. I mean, it is tremendous amount. And that's one thing that people should probably consider is that when you are, I don't know what's the best way, drunk, I guess, loopy, you're open. You're open for demonic attacks. You are open for that kind of stuff. Your guard is down. The guard that you would normally have up, that we're fighting unclean spirits all the time, that would be down, and it is possible to become possessed and have unclean spirits dwell in you. And so it's not good. I guess my recommendation, I would tell people you shouldn't be drinking. I mean, if you're drinking for, and that's not Torah based. That's just from life's experience and seeing where alcohol takes people. I've never seen a very successful alcoholic. That monkey on your back is just, it's a horrible thing to shake, and it's hard. And caffeine was hard enough to kick, let alone an alcohol dependency or any other kind of dependency. So our bodies are strong, but they can become very weak very quickly.
And Noah, when he got drunk, I mean, he ended up cursing an entire generation because he got drunk and his kid came in and everything.
Yeah, his kid got kind of wacky doodle. I mean, there's something that went down with Noah's whole thing on that. I mean, we don't know.
It doesn't exactly say.
It doesn't exactly say.
One of the times we hear in the Bible where someone actually did get drunk and and some crazy things were happening. So.
Yeah, and I mean, that was, Noah didn't seem like he got, other than killing off an entire generation or cursing, it wasn't even his kid, it was his grandkid.
We
is
ended up with
cursed.
Nimrod out of that line. So
Yeah, Nimrod, the whole evil came out of that whole line and everything. So yeah, it's probably not a good thing to be doing. All right, on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Okay, but like Paul says, if you have stomach aches or something of the sort, I mean, wine was definitely made for something. Celebrations. If we're drinking a little tiny glass of it, and we're not just falling down on the ground or something. So all right, 10. And that ye may put difference between holy and unholy, between unclean and clean. So he's talking about right here. This is what he's talking about right here, right? About drinks, right? And about making the difference between holy and unholy.
Right, like between the priests and the people can drink, but the priests cannot.
And unclean and clean, right? And it didn't say the priests cannot drink. It says they do not drink when you go into the tabernacle of the assembly, which leads to believe that Aaron's kids were pretty much probably sloshed. Probably a little off the rocker.
I mean, it wouldn't make sense if he just said this command out of nowhere. So,
and I think because Aaron was unable to weep for him, I believe Aaron had something to do with it. Like he knew his kids were a little bit out of control, or he knew. I mean, how would he, if he's the head priest, how would he not know his kids were a little sloshed? It's obvious when you're drinking.
He probably wasn't able to correct them at a young age or something. So
it's like Eli the priest when his kids were out doing crazy sins and taking bribes and things, and he ended up getting cursed for the whole thing. The Ark of the Covenant was taken away. So.
Yep. Okay. All right, so 11. And that ye may teach the children of Yashrael all the statutes which Yahuwah has spoken unto them by the hand of Moshe. And Moshe spoke unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar, his sons that were left. Take the oblation that remains of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is most holy. And ye shall eat it in the holy place, because it is your due, and your sons' due of the sacrifices of Yahuwah made by fire, for so I am commanded. And the waved breast and the heaved shoulder shall ye eat in a clean place, you and your sons and your daughters with you, for they be your due and your sons' due, which are given out of the sacrifices of peace offerings of the children of Yashrael. The heaved shoulder and the waved breast shall they bring with the offerings made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering before Yahuwah, and it shall be yours and your sons with you by a statute, as Yahuwah has commanded. And Moshe diligently sought the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt. And he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron, which were left alive, saying, Wherefore have ye not eaten the sin offering in the holy place, seeing it is most holy? And Elohim has given it to you to bear the iniquity of the assembly, to make the atonement for them before Yahuwah. Okay, I think this is worthy of discussion right here. Gentlemen, you guys following along with me here?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this was interesting, right? So, who got in trouble here?
The two other sons. So
Eleazar and Ithamar just got owned.
so it's okay. I'm struggling because I thought Phineas was his son. Is Phineas his grandson? Is Aaron's grandson?
It might be.
Because I remember Phineas, he was the son of Aaron. It's only 4 sons here.
Might be the grandson.
Maybe the grandson.
Okay. So anyway, they were told to eat it. So this was interesting that that eating the sacrifice is bearing the iniquity of the assembly. I thought that was very interesting, right?
It's kind of like Yehoshua, how he bore our sin when he died.
Yeah, and so there's more to this whole sacrifice thing, and them eating this when they ate it. It's like a ceremony of some sorts. Like, yes, I will do it, I will eat it, and so I think it's worth noting that there's more to these sacrifices probably than we actually understand. All right, and so they screwed up.
They burned it all the way up to like basically a burnt offering instead of actually eating it.
Right, and so who yelled at them?
Moses, because he came in looking for it. He's like, "Where's the food? Why is there nobody eating? Where is the people eating?"
Yeah, imagine Moshe being mad at you, man.
So
it
he's
would
like,
it would be real bad.
Your brothers just died for messing up the offering. What are you two doing now?
Yeah, and they were probably all traumatic. I mean, seeing your brothers die that same day and seeing the family die, seeing what the power of Yah does, you might be a little shaky. I mean, maybe, who knows why they burned it.
Moses would be like calling up the other side of the Levites. Hey, you guys want to be the high priest?
Yeah. Okay, so here we go.
18.
Behold, the blood of it was not brought in within the holy place. Ye should indeed have eaten it in the holy place, as I commanded. And Aaron said unto Moshe, Behold, this day have they offered their sin offering and their sending smoke offering before Yahuwah, and such things have befallen me. And if I had eaten the sin offering today, should it have been accepted in the sight of Yahuwah? So And Aaron said unto I got to reread this again.
Yeah, that was the confusing.
Behold, this day have they offered their sin offering and their sinning smoke offering before Yahweh. So if he had eaten what was burnt, he could have gotten into a lot of trouble as well.
So I think he's saying that he's not perfect right now, and he's not in the perfect spot to eat it. Like
he's unclean.
Read your version of it. Read 19.
And 18 or 19?
19.
And Aaron said to Moshe, See, today they have brought their sin offering and their burnt offering before Yahuwah, and these have come upon me. If I had eaten the sin offering today, would I have been right in the eyes of Yahuwah?
Okay. So what are we saying? What's he saying?
So I think he's saying that he didn't eat it because he's not perfect. Because Yehoshua was perfect when he died. So I'm thinking he's talking about like you have to be a perfect person to eat this. You have to be like a priest to be perfect.
They have to be like clean in like a clean state of mind, I think, as well.
Yeah, probably could be clean, probably unclean, so he couldn't eat the meat.
Yeah, he's got to be like completely crying inside. His heart has to be destroyed.
And not being able to cry for someone you love. And you
yeah, even that was a hardcore punishment right there. That was real hardcore.
For some reason Aaron got punished, so he was probably part of whatever happened.
Yeah. I mean, raise your kids up right in the way you want them to be trained. Okay, 20. And when Moshe heard that, he was content. So
it was good. I said it was good in his eyes.
Yeah. So what again? So
Moses was like when he said
he understood that he didn't eat it because he wasn't like perfect or something.
Okay. All right. Well, that's very interesting. So one other thing I did want to go over here, and it is in the YouTube studio right here. This one is from Frank Babcock, and this was talking about the Ha-Urman and the Ha-Tumen, which was from a couple of chapters ago when the white rocks. And I thought this was worth noting here. Are a white stone, and the Ha-Other is black. One means yes, and the Ha-Other means no. And as they would inquire to Yahuwah, Aaron would reach inside, and Ha-stone that was brought out was the will of will of Elohim. So I thought that was very interesting because I didn't know what that Urman and Tumen was, but it's two rocks. And so essentially when they needed an answer from Yah, they would deliver it. And so this other one I want to talk to a little bit about Carla because I misspoke on her stuff. When we were talking about the showers, right? The showers for the priests. And she says they're baths, right? It is a Levitical priestly baths, not showers. I guess they wouldn't have showers back in the day, but baths. And so there were probably baths all over that place to get these guys clean. I don't know where they would have had, I don't know if the priests walked away from the temple and from the sacrifices and went home to bath or went somewhere else to bath.
They might have like dug
bathhouse.
several like almost like large wells or something.
You would think they would have like a Levitical bath spot or something that they would have clean clothes, their stuff, and you could go and you could derobe and do all your stuff. So anyway, that is the bottom of this, and I want to thank everybody very, very much for spending this time with us. We appreciate your time. It is a preparation day. We pray that your Shabbat is blessed. We pray that you guys have a wonderful day today. For those who are not keeping Shabbat, I would strongly, strongly recommend it. It is a wonderful time of rest. It is a wonderful time of peace. And you will feel better than you've ever felt before when you start keeping the Shabbat. Gentlemen.
All right. If this is the first time you've ever heard from this channel and you're not keeping Shabbat, I strongly suggest you give it your all this weekend and try your best to keep Shabbat. Just start beginning the cycle of keeping the Shabbat.
Right, today you should cook all your meals, do everything you have to do today so you don't have to work tomorrow, and try to take as much of time off as you can tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you are not in, like if Sabbath keeping is not in your, what you've been doing, it does take a little bit to get into gear. Most of us have been shopping on Saturdays. Most of us did everything on Saturdays. Saturdays was the day off. Sunday was the day everybody goes. The day of Sol Victus was the day of Sunday worshiping, and that is incorrect according to the Bible. The fourth commandment of the Exodus 20 is that we need to keep the Sabbath, and it's literally in the Bible hundreds of times about keeping the Sabbath. It is literally hundreds of times, maybe more than that. You would have to look, and we have to do a count, but I stopped about 80 or something like that one time when I was looking. So it is in there a tremendous amount of times. So. Much love, everybody. Anyone else have anything else?
Shabbat shalom, and
read your Bibles. Stay in prayer.
Stay in prayer.
Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right, shalom.
Shalom, everyone. Goodbye.